Hi, welcome to the second episode of the Side Hustle Show. Today talking about Cast YT, my current project, what state I am at, what I'm planning for next time, and what I'm struggling with. But first of all, I will give you a life hack and a drink. So I found my favorite Christmas time drink for now, Coke with cinnamon. Like you can, I fell for the advertisement, so maybe I can learn something from the Coke folks about advertisement. They had like this Christmas edition with cinnamon on the label, and it tasted like normal Coke, so there was like no difference. So I just poured some cinnamon in there, and that's actually kind of great. Like don't use too much, as if you breathe it in, it hurts a little bit, but the whole cinnamon mix, I like it. It's a bit crazy, and maybe that's why I enjoy it, because it's something different. I assume not many people are doing it, but it's a great Christmas drink. You should try it. But back to the side hustle. So Cast YT, as I already said in the intro and introduced to it, that's mainly also the reason why I started this show, to get you or drag you along the way, tell you about my stories along the way of building it. And the state I'm currently at is that I build like an MVP, minimum viable product. It means the whole system is working somewhat, so it's not the finished product, and I plan to have Cast YT as a self-service service, so people can join, enter their YouTube channels, and then the podcast is automatically generated for them and submitted to the different directories like Spotify, iTunes, and so on. At the moment, I have the different tools in between, and I sell a service mainly. So people give me their YouTube channel, and I have to click different tools and start them, and start a cron job in the backend for updating the feed over the time. So the system is working the different parts. So it's like mainly it's like 3-4 different parts. So there's like a CDN holding the MP3s and holding the audio, and then maybe also the video for the video podcasts. Then there's like the main website where there is the landing pages for the podcast. So there's also a landing page involved for every user joins. And the scraper, or not the scraper, but like the worker accessing the YouTube API and checking if there's a new video. And these parts are not connected yet, so I have to enter like the values in all the different databases and so on. But I think it's good enough for the beginning, because it actually delivers exactly the service it will deliver later, just with a lot more work on my side involved. But this is something I like learned from other podcasts, and trying to get better at is building a good product, building a good minimum version, but not overthinking it and not overbuilding it, because I think this is the main problem I have, and also what I heard from my friends' circles and other people doing projects. A typical IT person problem, like someone who's programming the product themselves, is building the product all day long, because I really enjoy doing that. I really enjoy programming it. I really thinking about the problems, like how to save the files best, how to make it fast, how to also keep the costs down and everything. But this in the end does not care that much in the beginning, because the costs are not high anyways with a few customers, or it being a few milliseconds faster is also no problem in the beginning. It's just like this, let's call it tech porn of building something great, building great technology. But this is a thought I want to get away from a little bit in my entrepreneurial, like sure, in my full-time employment, I'm trying to exactly fulfill this and like build great products, or build like the best possible versions of something. But in my entrepreneurial, oh, there's the English coming in, entrepreneurial journey, I try to learn more to build this minimal version and then try to sell it, because this is the biggest struggle I have at the moment, is selling my products, or in this case selling Cast YT. So I'm building a marketing plan and trying to actually learn how to do that, because I never learned it. I don't have been to business school, and I'm also not sure if you learn it in business school, how to sell online products. And also, sure, like other podcasts I listen to, I will do a list at some point of the podcasts I listen to from week to week. There's always this part involved where like selling is the most important part. You can have the best product in the world, but if no one knows about it, if there's no marketing, if no one is buying it, then the product is worth nothing and you cannot deliver value if people don't find you. So this is what I'm currently working on with CastYT. So I have this basic version built, now working on the landing page, making it smooth with the template. I tried it from zero, but I'm definitely not a designer. I'm a backend guy. I tried to first build it from zero. I will include you a screenshot in the show notes of the first version, and then you know why I will build up on a template now. Because it really didn't look that good. It worked, and like the payment integration worked, but yeah, I would not have bought from that site because it looked so sketchy and so like 2000-ish. It was super fast. That was again like my tech part. I'm like building fast sites, but they are ugly as fuck. So yeah, I got a template now for $10, and I think it's really worth it because it looks awesome. And it's a lot better to build up on that and have a good looking site and people then actually maybe buying it because the site looks great, because this is the thing that's important, that like your customers think that you're professional, and also that I'm professional with the product. And I am in the back end, I can build that stuff, but with the design I'm not. And at the moment I don't have any money spare to hire a designer or hire a person who can build that out for me, so I have to do it myself. So I build up on a template, and I would really recommend you doing that. So if you are building software products and struggling maybe with the design or something, just like take a few boxes, like 10, 20, 50, sometimes like 100, but it's still a lot cheaper than like paying someone for their on the hour basis, getting a freelancer or a designer building you that for you, and it's faster. And this is actually the most important thing. You have to get your products fast onto the road and test stuff. There will also be one story of mine where I did not do it in the beginning. I did like a Y Combinator startup school, like an online course thingy. It was for free. It was great, like with a weekly meeting with other startup people. And yeah, I was falling to the same trap, first building the product before selling it or trying to sell it, and then someone was like, just like, yeah, Simon, like your challenge for the next week is just to build a landing page and just like build it and then try to sell it. And I got a few users, but then I found out that the idea I had was really difficult with the German law because it was about porn stories, so like sex stories online. And that was kind of difficult with the German child prevention, child prevention laws, like to prevent children of seeing pornographic or pornographical content online. That's why most of the porn sites are not registered in Germany, because we have quite high standards here regarding that, despite the sites being founded by Germans. Yeah, but this will be another story in another episode. But it was actually just like then building it and then fastly finding out this point that I could not have actually build it because of the laws we have here in Germany. I'm just like, and so again, I was like, yeah, no, it's not worth like opening a company in that country because I didn't have a business model. But I would not have come to this point then. Like, it would have taken me half a year to build the whole platform to be at this point where I learned like, oh yeah, the whole idea doesn't work out. So the thing I want to teach you, or I want to give you on your way from this episode is like, build fast, build it not a shitty, like it's don't build a crappy product, no, but build a minimum version where maybe you have to do a lot of manual work. Like right now when you register on CastYT, you just get an email and be like, yeah, thank you for subscribing, like I will get back to you in 24 hours, because I get an email then and I will do all the manual work, type it in, and then approach the customer again. And also give them introductions how stuff works. But so this is a minimum version, not a crappy version. So like, sure, this email could be better or the system could be better and everything, but it's a good service. But it's not the full system built out already, not the perfect marketing email, everything, because I want to reiterate on that, because maybe for now a few months this will be enough so I can focus on other parts in the business, like the marketing parts, for example. So to come to the end of this episode, quite short one for the beginning, as I said, I think 5 until 20 minutes, between 5 and 20 minutes for the episodes. So what I already did a few days back is I researched German YouTube podcasts, like people doing podcasts on YouTube in German, because I'm German, it's easier for me to approach them in German. And with the ones who not yet have a Spotify podcast. So I will approach them. I already researched their contact information. I will craft an email and send them the information of like when I finish the landing page of Cast YT, and be like, yeah, I have the service now. You can get a lot more listeners, and also have your podcast on iTunes and Spotify, and then see how this goes. Maybe from this 20, like no one answers, maybe one answers, and that's already quite good then. In my view, it would be 5% answer rate. I think 21. Yeah, I think 5%. So this would be really, really great. Like if 1 out of 20 maybe subscribes them for the service and gets like their podcast finally on Spotify, how they should, because like all the podcasts should be in audio versions on Spotify and iTunes, in my opinion. Also, what will happen or is happening with the Side Hustle Show. So you can also subscribe to it on Spotify and iTunes and everywhere you get your podcasts, and see that Cast YT works as I'm doing it as a test case for that too. So by next week, I will have finished the landing page and also send out the first sales email to these 20 potential customers. Yeah, let's see how this works out, and then recap next week. And I think, as I already teased it in this episode, I think next time we'll talk you the whole story about the sex story side, the whole story behind the sex story side I wanted to build during like the Y Combinator startup school, and what I learned doing that. Yeah, it was fun. Like, it was a fun journey, but yeah, sadly in the end didn't work out, as you'll find out a lot of with my side project. So I built a lot of different stuff, and I learned a lot along the way, and I hope I can share something with you and you can learn something from me.